15 seconds left in the fourth quarter, trailing by 3. Kyler takes the snap. The 7-0 Cardinals need to score here. If they can't get a touchdown on this play, they can kick a field goal and push it to overtime. But with the Packers all out blitzing, Kyler needs to throw it because if he gets sacked here, the game is over. He looks to the right side of the field. He has A.J. Green one-on-one with Rasul Douglas. How did we get here? Well, starting all the way back in 2020, the Cardinals made a blockbuster trade. They traded a second-round pick and David Johnson for DeAndre Hopkins. One of the great trades in their franchise's history, because during the 2020 season, DeAndre Hopkins had arguably his best season of his career. And so did Kyler Murray. He was a big help in the development of Kyler. As a whole, their team bounced back big time from a few rough years previously. But 2021 was supposed to be their year. And it started off that way. After 7 games, they were 7-0. They had blown out their opponents. They had faced multiple playoff teams. They had very few one-score wins because they were just dominating everybody. But here we are, Week 8 in Arizona against the Green Bay Packers, another good team, 6-1, but they're out several starters. And Arizona's struggling. Kyler's not had his best game, but he still made plays. But late in the game, they need a play. And what happens? Well, he throws it to A.J. Green. Green is not looking, and it's intercepted by Rasul Douglas, the former Arizona Cardinal, for some poetic justice. This play seemingly ended an amazing run by the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, the former first overall pick, was favored to win MVP. But after this game, his odds just kept dropping and dropping, and he was nothing but an afterthought when the season was over. Though they did win some more games. They won 4 games and lost a fair amount of games as well to finish out the season. They got blown out in the first round of the playoffs, 34-11 by the eventual Super Bowl champion Rams. A team that they had blown out weeks earlier to this Green Bay game because ultimately they were the better team at the time. But something happened in this game. A switch flipped somewhere, and the Cardinals reverted back to their losing ways. Kyler's statistical dominance disappeared very quickly. And even though they did make the playoffs, they were struggling to make it in. As late as the last couple games of the season, they needed wins just to get in. They ended up as the 2 seed in their division, narrowly edging out the 49ers. And following their playoff loss, they simply got worse. They lost players in free agency. They could not afford to bring players back. And the supporting cast grew older, grew worse, and they had poor draft classes. And then in 2022, it was a disaster. They won 4 games. Kyler got injured after starting off the year very poorly. And now, heading into this 2023 season, they're the favorites to have the first overall pick. They have one of the worst rosters in football. One of the worst rosters in football we've seen in a long time. And it all stemmed from one play. And it had me thinking, man, what could have been different if A.J. Green turned around and caught that ball? Is Kyler the MVP? He has a late game amazing play to cement his MVP season. Maybe they make a deep playoff run. I doubt the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl if their opponent is 8-0 and wins the division. One single play that could considerably alter that franchise. And on the other end, look at Green Bay. If they fell to 6-2 there, they would not have been the first seed. In fact, they would have fallen all the way to the 3rd seed. They would not have a home playoff game. Who knows? Maybe they win a game, maybe they don't. They would not have even matched up against the 49ers. Maybe they got a matchup they had a better shot in, like Dallas. Who knows? Maybe losing this game would have been better for Green Bay than winning it. Sure as hell would have been better for Arizona if they could win it. Looking back, I mean, even if it wasn't better for Green Bay, I wish we lost this game because the damage it did to the Cardinals franchise is just sad because ultimately I was rooting for them all season. I really thought they were going to make a run in the playoffs. I thought Kyler was going to win MVP. DeAndre Hopkins, after an incredible 2020 season, had a 2021 riddled with injuries. I mean, AJ Green was their leading receiver that year, beating out the likes of Christian Kirk. But it's not all bad because right now the Cardinals hold what many expect to be the first and second overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. And even though they might have a terrible year in 2023, which is what everyone expects, Kyler will be back healthy in 2024. They'll either be trading him or they'll be trading Caleb Williams for a haul. And they'll be able to get their hands on a great playmaker like Marvin Harrison Jr. early in the draft. So even though this single play may have set them back years, it's not over for them because they still have a bright future. And I am hopeful for what they can do. But one thing's for sure, I don't think I've ever been more excited over a single play than that interception by Cardinals.